Hello, Stampers. This is Yana Smakula for My Favorite Things. Welcome back for another video tutorial. In this video, I'm creating a birthday card using the My Favorite Things Bunny Bouquet stamp set. Let's jump right in. I will say that I changed my mind several times while making this card, all because that's the fun, all because that's the beauty of the creative process. So I first wanted to have this image stamped on a crisp white background. Later, as I was coloring it, I wanted to have a dark background, a dark background instead to help the coloring pop. But once I finished my coloring, I loved the way it looked on a white background, and I changed my mind once again, and so I did not color the background dark blue as I was planning to do. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my thinking when I was making this card. I started working on my card by stamping this image and also a sentiment directly below it using the Mini Misty stamping tool and Memento Tuxedo black ink. This is alcohol marker friendly ink, and I do plan to color this with my Copic markers. I'm doing my stamping on the Simon Says Stamp 130 pound cardstock. I love this paper for stamping and coloring with alcohol markers, and it is important that you use the right paper for the job. Maybe it's Neenah Solar White cardstock for you or some other brand paper that you like, but do make sure if you are copying this card that you are stamping your image on the right type of paper, on the type of paper that is meant for Copic coloring. Next, I thought about a color combo for this project, and I wanted to have a lot of bright spring colors. Think various shades of pink and orange. Now, I used greens, of course, to color the leaves, and my go-to green Copic marker colors are YG67, YG17, and YG03. The way I typically color is I start with my darkest color. I use it at the base of the leaves to add deep shadows. Next, I come in with my medium color marker to add the main leaf color, and then I come with the lightest color to blend everything. Now, I might go back to the dark and the medium and reapply the light color if I feel I'm not getting a good enough blend. I also used some variations of green colors, the G99, G94, and YG03 to color some of the other leaves on this image. And typically, if there are different types of greenery on the image that I'm coloring, I try to have different green combinations to color the different varieties of the leaves at different shades of green. Next, I used light pinks, the RV24, RV10, RV00 to color some of the flowers here light pink. I also used these to color some of the berries pink. Now, the flowers are small, so you don't need to add a ton of color or do a ton of blending. I basically just dab the color here and there to saturate my petals, starting with the darkest color in the center. I also used orange color here a lot, and my color combination for orange was YR07, YR04, and YR00. I love the combination of pinks and orange. It looks just so refreshing, Typically, I would go with pinks and yellows, but here I wanted to try orange colors, and I absolutely love this result. It's new, it's different, it's so vibrant, perfect for spring. I also used a slightly more vibrant pink, RV14, RV13, and RV11. Now, I also used the same colors to color the two large flowers. These are much bigger, so there is room for blending and shading if you want to, take your time and really color these. I did the same basic coloring here as I did on the rest of my flowers. The bunny was colored first using the R20 marker, and this is my typical color whenever I need to color the inside of the ears or, like the belly. I also use this color to color the belly of my bunny. Next, I blended this color out using a colorless blender, or this was actually a 0 marker in this case, and this 0 is an Olo marker. So it's basically a colorless blender, but from Olo. Next, I used E00 and E000 to color the bunny very pale peach color. You can make your bunny white or brown or gray. I wanted to continue the color scheme, and so I stayed away from, the dark and harsh colors. I didn't think the brown or the gray would work here, so that's why I used these colors. Finally, I did use a little bit of gray, but only to add just a hint of shading. So I used W5, W3, and W1 to add a shadow under my bunny, and this also helped ground him. I trimmed this panel down using a rectangle die from my stash, and next I cut a layer of white foam, fun foam. It was cut just slightly smaller than my panel, and I used that fun foam to foam mount my panel onto an A2 card base. And this created a white on white card with lots of vibrant color in the middle. I also used a white pen in size 0.5. It's the smallest pen that I have in my stash, and this is Sakura Jelly Roll pen. And I used it to color some of the flower centers white, and also I added some white dot detail to some of the petals. Lastly, I embellished my card with flat sequins. I just scattered them around the main image and called it done. I love the way this turned out. This card was super easy to make, and I hope I've inspired you to give this idea a try. Thanks so much for joining me today. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.